Hey guys, David Baer here from Baer on Marketing, and in this video I'm going to be telling you a little bit about a new software as a service called Webinar Jeo from a guy named Walter Bayliss, whose products I have purchased in the past. Really nice guy, like what he's done with some of his previous products, and why I am excited about Webinar Jeo. Now, let me first say that there are some things I like about it, some things I don't like about it, but let me give you the context for what this tool is and why it even exists and why you should be considering it in the first place. So webinar software online really has taken a bunch of upgrades and improvements over the years. The original sort of major player in this space is a company called Citrix with their tool GoToWebinar. It's still a major player in the webinar marketplace, and it's a fabulous tool with a few drawbacks. Drawback number one is it ain't cheap. It's like $300 a month for a subscription to be able to have somewhere between 100 and 1,000 people attend your webinar, right? It's cheaper if you have under 100, but if you are trying to build up any sort of business and have more than 100 attendees at your webinars, you're going to be paying $300 a month. That's a considerable amount of money, especially if you're not doing a ton of webinars, right? So that's one challenge. Another challenge of GoToWebinar is that if you've ever been on a webinar through their software, through their platform, you probably have heard the presenter getting a question like, will there be a replay? And the typical answer that the presenter gives is something along the lines of, well, we're hoping so. You know, GoToWebinar isn't always that reliable about it, and it might take a little while to render, but we've also got a couple of people doing a backup recording just in case, right? That doesn't give me a lot of confidence in GoToWebinar's ability to be reliable when it comes to recording their own platform, right? So those are a couple of downsides to GoToWebinar. It's also a little clunky. It's a little, you know, the user interface is not the easiest for somebody who is running a webinar, but it's, you know, it's there and it does a pretty decent job, and they've added some improvements over the years, and so here's what's happened, right? So it's an expensive platform. So a couple of years back, we started seeing WordPress plugins and then other software as a service tools coming on the market that directly competed with GoToWebinar by using Google Hangouts. And Google Hangouts, if you're not familiar with them, is basically a live broadcast that you record and then is simultaneously being uploaded and with a small delay being broadcast through YouTube. And so you can take those videos and embed them inside of web pages. And so basically what happened was these WordPress plugins and other software as a service stuff came out using the Google Hangout technology. Now, they're fabulous, and I've been using those mostly. I've been using them on 22 Social, on Webinar Jam, and some other webinar plugins, like RunClick, for example, and they work really well. But there's one major downside, apart from you know, an occasional quirky unreliability from Google, but one major problem, and that is that I told you that basically what you're doing is you're recording and then simultaneously uploading to YouTube. Well, there's a bit of a delay in that upload process, and so while a presenter might be, you know, wanting to ask a question, if you've ever been on a webinar where they say, you know, give me a yes, or if you agree, type 1 in a box. That's a technique in webinars to really promote engagement, but also to have great interaction, because if your interacting participants, viewers, are being attentive, right, they're writing their questions in there, they're writing their answers in the chat box, it's a much more successful experience, a more successful presentation, right? And as a result, the likelihood of that engagement translating into a potential sales opportunity is much, much higher. Well, what happens with Google Hangouts is this delay throws the entire thing off. It basically handicaps the presenter because they don't have the ability to really do that real-time engagement that they can do on GoToWebinar. And that is really the place that this tool, Webinar Jeo, that is launching on the 30th of May, that's its sweet spot. Instead of using Google Hangout technology, they are using Amazon web storage video technology. And it is real-time, just like GoToWebinar, so there's no delay, and on a pricing model, they're competing at a much, much lower price. So whether it's I think it's an annual subscription. You could do a monthly subscription if you wanted to, but when you look at the numbers, it makes no sense to, because you basically can get an annual subscription for the equivalent of 6 months on the monthly subscription price. So here is an opportunity that I want you to take a look at, because this may or may not be for you. And let me talk a little bit about who it's for, who it's not for, and who should actually take a serious look at it and potentially try it out. All right, so here we are on the sales page. This may be live when you're looking at this. There's actually a launch webinar that they're doing, so you may not have access to this page quite yet. It depends on when you're watching my video here. But here's a video that sort of demonstrates. Let me see if I can get a couple of pictures. So this is what this is Walter, by the way, and this is what the presenter sees. This is the chat box he sees on the side, and then this is just a YouTube video that he's posted on there. This is showing that it's through Amazon Web Services as opposed to using Google Hangouts. Let's see what else we have in here. Here's some integrations. So integrates with Aweber, GetResponse, SendLane, Infusionsoft, MailChimp, and more integrations coming. Now this is one of my sore points at the moment. This is not sort of fully integratable with everything, right? So lead pages, sorry, doesn't integrate with that. Wish loop, sorry, doesn't integrate with that. Zaxa, which is, by the way, one of my most important tools in my business, sorry, doesn't integrate with that yet. I don't think this is a problem, because I know these integrations will be coming, and it's one of the reasons why I'm willing personally to invest in this product myself, and know that that I'm going to be able to use it down the road with the integrations that I expect. But I'm gonna lock in the launch price, because it is such a ridiculous deal when you see the simplicity of this platform. And let's jump over here a little bit further along in the video. So all right, so here's a presentation again. You can see the chat over on the side. Here's Walter, but this is what I wanted to show you. This is pretty cool. So you can do these like whiteboard presentations where you can draw on the screen, which is very, very cool, and be able to basically map stuff out. It's something that I haven't seen in other technologies for webinars, and so this is one of the things that I really like. Now, this is the sales page, I think that there was like a whole section down below. I'm gonna just jump to that. We'll get past all of the here's why you should buy it, right? All of this stuff. So you can see it's basically a very, very sweet looking thing. It's mobile ready, so it can work on tablets, on phones. It's really simple setup compared to so many other tools I've seen there. You basically just fill in a couple of fields and you're ready to go. You do. I find some of these plugins a little overwhelming and intimidating when it comes to how much information you need to fill out, and this one really has streamlined it, and I really like that quite a bit. Now, let's just jump down a little bit further here on the page, because I wanted to show you. Okay, so here's some other things. So you can do private chat. So if like somebody's asking a question in the chat box and you don't want to answer to everybody, you can go back and just answer to them. You can turn an attendee, somebody who is there watching, you can give them the ability to jump in and be on a panel or ask a question live, or they can become a presenter. You can mute attendees, you can remove attendees, and then you can, as I said, there's that public-private chat thing, which is kind of cool. You can also include, you can do screen share, of course, quizzes and surveys. You can pop in buy buttons at any moment. So if you're, now at the point in your presentation where you want people to click on their screen, you can actually put the button right in the middle of the screen and they can click on it. And then of course there's that interactive whiteboard thing that which I think is really cool with annotations and all of that. So let me just scroll on down because they have like a whole. Of course you can do lead generation through these things. And then you can do both live webinars as well as replays and evergreen webinars, which basically is a webinar that people sort of have the feeling that they're going through a live experience, but it's not a live experience. Okay, so true live streaming, unlimited seats, right? So there's no restrictions on the number of seats. Push notifications, you can put that. The ability to notify people inside Facebook that the webinar is about to start. That's really, really cool. Lead management, that's all built in, and then you can integrate some email autoresponders right now, not everyone, and I'm looking forward to more integrations along those lines, and I know that they're working on that. The live trigger call to action, so getting that buy button to appear at the moment you want it to. Let's see what else. Obviously, yeah, the camera, microphone, all of that stuff. Attendees can prevent. Really, really simple to go live. It automatically records the webinar, so no question about that. Poll and survey integration, social media integration, so you can start your webinar and tell people, hey, click that share link up at the top and tell everybody over on Twitter to get over to here to join in the audience, right? So that's all integrated. It can be used on any device. And you can export all of your leads to other platforms. So even though there's no integration with things right now, you can still export all of that through CSV files. And then there's a bunch more. And these guys, I have had really good customer support from them on the other products that I've purchased. Now, who is this for? Who is it not for? Let me simply say that if you are seriously looking at doing webinars, and some of the things that I told you about GoToWebinar in terms of its expense and its lack of reliability in getting those replays up or even recorded in the first place, or if that delay with Google Hangouts is an issue for you, I want you to look at this. The sales page and the entire structure of it is built for professional online marketers, which means if you're an attorney, if you're a coach, if you're an accountant, somebody who might do a webinar in your business, but you're not an affiliate marketer, you're not a professional marketer going out selling software or courses about marketing and that sort of thing. There's a lot of focus on that audience here on the sales page, and there are things that are included here like some done-for-you webinars that are specifically for you. If you don't, you want to start making money with their system right away, you can have these plug-and-play webinars that you can start driving traffic to. Well, that may not be for you, but don't worry. This platform still is appropriate even if some of these bonuses, these upgrades that they're offering on the sales page may not really fit your business model. Don't worry about it. These are things you can ignore and still find a great deal of value in the Webinar Jeo platform. So I just wanted to give you a sense of this is not necessarily, when you get there, going to be speaking to you if you are not a professional online marketer. And that's okay. I really think that this is a tool, having gone through it myself, having been walked through the entire platform, having gotten a chance to see the back end of it, I'm very, very comfortable not only endorsing it, but recommending that you look at it seriously, particularly if you're not comfortable with technology, because it is so streamlined compared to so many other things. Now, there's a whole bunch of bonuses that are included here on this page from Webinar Jeo themselves, but I wanted to sweeten the pot and help you further when it comes to getting up and running with webinars. And so if you are to purchase through my affiliate link, I have a couple of additional things that I'm sharing with you. So I've put together a, let me jump to the top here. I was actually just editing this thing, a PDF for you. It's 21 pages long, 10 different chapters about monetization of webinars and how to monetize your webinars effectively. So it basically goes through, you know, how to structure the whole thing, how to get through the technology, how to promote your webinar, the autoresponder series around your webinar, and really how to organize and be successful in your webinar, and then other ideas about monetization. Now, on top of this bonus, I'm also including, let me jump over here, I am including 16 different templates for you on things like how to your agenda, the structure of your webinar, assigning things out to outsourcing things basically to contractors to get stuff done, like building your presentation, and also checklists if you have a guest speaker coming in. So maybe you're hosting somebody else who is doing the webinar, how to structure all of that, press releases and Facebook and Twitter templates. And then I include some templates around the emails that you want to send out around the webinar. So the announcement email and the reminder email and the thank you email. So I have templates for all of that I'm giving to you as well when you purchase Webinar Jeo through my link. So if you have any questions whatsoever about whether this is an appropriate tool for you, if you should be even considering doing webinars, anything that you need to clarify in what I've shared with you here in this video, by all means reach out to me, share in the comments, reach out to me over at baeronmarketing.com, just get in touch via contact, or if you're in the Power of Reach Facebook group, reach out to me there. I am more than happy to help you with the decision of whether this is a good and appropriate investment for you. So, hey, for the Webinar Jeo launch, I hope that I've given you a sense of how this all works and whether it's a good investment for you. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate you. And again, reach out if you have any questions whatsoever. I'm here to help.